Good evening, everyone. Welcome, Avinians. Thank you for joining us tonight on the sound of Avini. What does it sound like when you're growing your business? What does it sound like, right? We know what it looks like. We certainly know what it feels like, but what does it sound like inside to yourself? Well, we're going to take a look at the different things that we can say, how it sounds, questions you might get, questions you might still have. And also, I wanted to share a few little nuggets that I came across in my storage unit that I thought you might get a kick out of. So, about 15 years ago, I didn't have a lot of extra money then, but I found a book in a bookstore that I thought was worth $50 15 years ago. So here it is. And yes, it's as heavy as it looks. It's very heavy. This is actually a medical book on the architecture and design of men and women. And I want to open this up because the artistry and the pictures are incredible. It's why I bought the book. Perfect for our new product, cardio. And so I'm going to start doing tours. I'm planning on starting to do the Diamond Super Saturday super training events for distributors. And I take this book with me whenever I would do trainings because this book shows in detail, I don't male anatomy. I don't think we need to look at that right now. It is the difference between men and women. But let's see, gosh darn it, let me see here. There we go. This is cardiovascular. This is veins and arteries. Isn't that amazing? And the reason that I wanted to show you these photographs, just a few of the diagram pictures, is to demonstrate the incredible intricacy of our bodies. Absolutely miraculously made we are. Here's another one. This is a torso. This is a diagram. For those of you already in the medical field, I know this is nothing new. It was probably standard operating. I know Pamela Koppel, you could probably write this book. And many people on here. But here is a vivisection of bone and muscle. Sorry for the glare. Do you see how unbelievably detailed? And when we think about what our Avini products actually do and where they reach, can you see how their journey is just not a quick in, out, it's gone? There are so many facets to our body. This is our brain and nervous system. And this is actually, yes, the neurotransmitters. I believe that's part of the spinal cord. This one is a neuron here. So go to the bookstore, grab a book like this and just have some fun, right? Just really dig in to help yourself understand really what a miracle we have in Avini to be able to take out these heavy metals, these toxins, and why would we want to, right? So I found, thank you, Jeanette Loudon, who is a Crossline associate in Southern California or Mid-California. She brought this amazing document. It's a body toxin chart, and it's rare. I don't even think there are any copies left. But in one of her pages, here are 9 reasons to use Cell Defender. Grab a pen. Here are 9 reasons you're going to want to share Cell Defender with your clients. Number 1, protects the body from toxins. Well, of course, right? We would assume that will be it. Next, free radical defense. We hear Rick talk about the positive and negative charge to our zeolite cage, our detoxolite cage. We hear this all the time, and we just recognize that the good items are negatively charged and the bad ones are are positively charged. Kind of ironic, right? The bad ones are positive, but in this case, it's true. And positive ions are free radicals, right? And so just remember that as we are pulling those positive ions into the cage, we're doing our body a great service by helping to remove things that cause more free radical damage, because positively charged items are always looking, as Chip Littlejohn will say, they're always looking for a negative charge to grab onto and rob another item, rob a healthy cell. They want to steal an ion. So let's let Cell Defender be what takes those positive charges out of the body. All right. And this is really very layman's explanation. So we'll leave the real detailed stuff to Rick and Chip. Okay. Support liver and kidney function and health. Now, if I look up liver and kidney in here, it's going to blow your mind. I should probably have it tabbed already. But it's an intricate, hi, Marianne. It's a very intricate, detailed maze of filters and spongy-like tissues that filter blood, that filter substances. And in the case of the liver, is responsible for over 1,000 different functions, right? So in pulling the heavy metals and the toxins and the PFAS and the chemicals out of the body, aren't we helping support the liver and kidney function do those 1,000 functions better, right? I loved a talk that I heard from Doug Dickey when my old teacher used to tell me that the liver is the general of the body. We think it's the brain or we think it's the heart. It's not, it's the liver, just because of all the chores that the liver has. And Doug added to that a liver could be cut down to do 500 things and still be effective. It could be cut down to do 100 things and we would still be living. Not as well, but right? But it would still be allowed to allow blood to be filtered. But it's responsible for hormonal response. One of the things I learned in my acupuncture training years ago is liver is actually responsible for the regulation of women's cycles before menopause. And one of the reasons that we have such challenging monthly cycles, as I did growing up, if you know someone with painful monthly cycles, have them use Avini Cell Defender. Removing that burden from the liver helps unload that burden. So that young woman or that woman's monthly hormonal function has less to have to get through, to swim through, to function smoothly. And she can do so without pain. And I've got several people that have daughters or grown daughters that have successfully reported back that they are much more comfortable, less agony because of Cell Defender and their monthly cycles. So again, supporting liver and kidney function. Kidneys, we know that the kidneys are filtering and again cleaning the blood, much like dialysis, and our Cell Defender works that way, like dialysis in the blood, and not taking the good things that we need, right? Dialysis, if we know anybody, my mother was hooked up to dialysis for 4 painful years to watch her. And it was very, very sad to watch her just sitting in a chair for 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. What a waste of life. What a waste of life. If you know anybody who is suffering from lower kidney function, make sure that they are using Cell Defender to help the liver function, or excuse me, the kidneys have the best chance at their function. Because when we're being told that kidneys are only functioning at 70% normally, don't let a doctor scare anyone into saying, oh my goodness, we've got to get you ready for dialysis. You're only at 70%. Don't let them scare you. Do not let them be frightened by that. That's actually a very normal range. And as we're getting into the 50 and the 40, we can get them back up with Cell Defender. Again, we're not making medical claims, so got to make sure I do my little disclaimer there. But we are removing those toxins that suppress filter function. So we're supporting liver and kidney. All right, blood, tissue, and alkalization. Yay, right? Heavy metal toxins are poisonous. And of course, that would lower our normal pH into the acidic range. Garbage is garbage. Garbage is acid. And we want to stay at that nice 7.35, 365 level, if that's the right number. Pretty close, I'm pretty sure. And yes, ma'am.
Can you repeat that? Sorry. Blood, tissue, and
Yes, we want that tissue level to be at 7.3, someone in there. And heavy metals, again, when they're positively charged and ionically charged, they're lowering that range into the acidic level. We're pulling those out. We're naturally raising our level to be much more normal. The elimination of viruses. Guess where they like to hitchhike? They love hitching a ride on toxins, don't they? All right, I'll move faster through this. Blood glucose balance. When we're moving the garbage, it's easier for blood sugars to stabilize. It helps bind the sticky glucose in the blood, helping to eliminate the excessive glucose. Improved digestion function or digestive function. Scientists have found that zeolite may relieve, notice, making no claims, may relieve diarrhea and perhaps enhance the absorption of nutrients in the digestive tract because there's less stuff in the way, is what I like to say. There's less barrier in the way. Relief from allergies, because allergies stem from toxins often, and often foreign agents in the body stimulate this response, and removing them helps eliminate that just being present in the body. So we're taking those agents out. We're trapping them and getting them out. And of course, all research is showing that using zeolite has been extremely safe, even for children and pregnant women. And I say, especially get it into pregnant women, right? Don't you carry a nice extra freebie bottle of zeolite in case you come across a mommy to be? That's one of my favorite donations. If you've got a mommy to be, let her start out right. Don't let her pass heavy metal toxins on to her newborn, her unsuspecting newborn. So I hope that was helpful. Does anybody have another reason they'd like to offer for using the zeolite that they found successful? Okay, awesome.
My eyes.
Yes, sir. Share.
Yeah, I go to the doctor every year just for a normal eye checkup. And a couple of years ago, he says, your eyes seem to be doing pretty good at your age. I went back the following year and he says, I don't know what's going on here at your age, but your eyes are back to 2020. And he jumped on the computer immediately to see what was going on. And I have to admit, it has made a huge difference. I put drops in my eyes every single morning to start out as soon as I get up. And then throughout the day, if I need some, if you get into traffic and your eyes are burning or from too much bright sun, whatever the case, smoke or what have you, I've always got it handy and I just slam some in there. I probably did it 3 times today so far. And it just keeps things clear. And with our new eye and brain stuff, I'm kind of excited to see where it even goes from here and stuff. So yeah, that's one of them. I put it in my ears all the time because I used to get infected. I've broken both my eardrums and I used to have to go get them cleaned because they get infected. Haven't had to be back since. There again, if you're in smoke or something and you get stuffed up or wake up stuffed up some mornings, shoot it up my nose, instantaneously cleans out everything. And even sends a little burn right down your throat. You can just feel the toxins leaving and instantaneously you can breathe and stuff. So I put it everywhere. It's amazing. Yeah.
Sounds like you do. Shoot,
I
that's
don't
Cell
wonderful.
Defender?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that all
Yes.
Cell Defender?
Wow.
It's huge. Yeah. I put it on my skin to get rid of age spots. And within a couple of weeks, the first thing that happens, they turn back to normal skin color. And then pretty quick, they're getting smaller, and pretty quick, it either falls off or disappears. I'm kind of anal about those age spots on me and stuff. So I'm always chasing them and stuff, but that's where I put that stuff.
I'm gonna need a bigger bottle. Tony, what about your bones?
Oh, I love this one. Thank you. Great suggestion to remind. So again, you know how we're all taking information that we get from one another. Doug Dickey again in explaining, I remember him having a great conversation with Rick Goltz, who's on our call tonight, that while bone turnover is very slow, it takes 12 years to replace bone. If there is the presence of mercury, aluminum, or heavy metals in the area of bone, it's replacing and inhibiting the ability of calcium to reproduce itself, to reinforce bone. So the osteoblasts, that signaling effect of rebuilding bone by the signal of osteoblasts, cannot be signaled and cannot be built until the removal of, I believe it is mercury and aluminum. Those two are replacing the needed calcium and inhibiting calcium from being formed. So this is why we are seeing osteopenia, osteoporosis more and more and earlier. So if we can remove those items and we can get it out of the bone, and we do slowly, then we can build stronger, better bones, right? Oh yes, lead can accumulate. Thank you, Don. Absolutely, lead, yes. Yes. All the baddies, right? All the baddies. So thank you, Wendy, for the reminder of that. All right. Now, I'm really grateful that we have such a beautiful turnout tonight, and I really want to encourage that we continue to do these little snippets. Not here to steal your Monday nights. Want to keep it to 30 minutes. We kind of got a late start, but I did want to read some ideas. What does the sound of your business growing sound like? And I had someone call me who really felt like she had a really great practitioner, I will say, on the line. And just in case she's on, I will not name names. Looking, I'm scanning really quick. But she felt like she had the practitioner right there ready to sign. And quite honestly, I had spoken to her, and Doug Dickey had spoken to her. And so we really felt like she, right there. And a few days passed, and our gal called back and said, I don't know what happened. She was so excited, ready to sign. And now she just wants to be a customer. And without assuming, I simply asked, do you think she might have felt pressure by the overexuberance that you knew she was coming on board, right? And she said, but I was so excited. I was so excited that she was going to come on. All right. I'm saying all of this to just maybe offer a helpful tip that if we are overexcited and we know we've got someone who's super analytical and who's super proud of the business that they run, let's say it's a practitioner, let's say it's a massage therapist, a chiropractor, somebody with a plaque or some letters behind their name. And if they're approached with that really breathy, wow, okay, we're really excited, you're coming on board. Can you smell the sales breath? Can you smell it? I think she did, and she got scared. Yep, see, my phone even verified that. Yep, she did get frightened. And I simply made a suggestion, and I offer this, it's your choice, it's your business, you do what you need to do. But maybe when someone is definitely interested, maybe it's time to bring your excitement level down to the ground and bring it down a notch. Be calm and let them come to you. She was already excited. They're already excited. They know you have something they've never seen before. And usually they want to take their time. When we get super excited and we sound over enthusiastic, does everybody remember that girl at the dance that was so excited because the football guy was gonna ask her out? I was her. And maybe if I'd have played it a little bit cooler, right? Yeah, just go ahead and play it cool. Let them make their decision. And through time, you begin to understand that you can be excited, maybe under your breath. That's just a simple suggestion. Anybody comment on that? Anybody want to go have a comment on that? Agree with it, disagree with it? Because it's completely open. This is your call. Jan
I can,
Antonelli.
That's really helpful, and I'm glad you said something because, and I agree and disagree. It's kind of an interesting dance because I've really been excited, and the excitement is contagious, and I've been having success with my excitement. Yet I saw myself with a friend, and I could think my excitement turned her off. So it's kind of, there's a time and a place for that. So I'm glad you're tuning me into that. I'll be careful and just say a little bit about how the good side of excitement and how you balance it.
Jan, absolutely. Absolutely. It is a balance and it is a dance. And I think as we get stronger, and right now, Jan, you were in Vegas, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so we can't help but be excited, right? We just came off the heel of magnetic excitement, right?
Right.
It's what fuels us. It's what makes us feel so good right now. We are a whole new Avini company raising this vibration throughout all of us, and our courage is getting up. The trick is, in my opinion, is bringing that down to a professional level when you are dealing with a professional. They really, yes, Wendy, go ahead.
I was going to say, you have to mirror who you're talking to. If it's a professional, you can't be, oh my God.
Unless they are.
You have to mirror them. I find that if someone speaks really slow, I try to slow myself down. Or if they're speaking really fast, I'm like, oh man, blah, blah. So you have to like really do the dance with them and figure out where they're coming from. And if you can't, pass it on. I want you to meet my friend Tony. You guys would hit it off if you know you can't.
And by that, she means Tony G. I know she does.
Whatever works.
Yes, yes. So, Jan, thank you. A good point that yes, there's absolutely a time and place for our enthusiasm, and there's a time and a place to bring it down to the level of calm so that they don't feel overwhelmed, because every single person on this Zoom is ready for the next level of their Avini business. And it's kind of like graduating from elementary school to junior high and high school. We've been through our paces with listening to the calls and the testimonials and with this wonderful information we get from Chip and Rick. And now it's up to us as the distributor force to use our gifts of communication to allow that to happen, that dance of communication. And that really is what Dave Johnson is talking about on Tuesdays in self-educating ourselves and bringing up our confidence so that we can speak a certain way. We can speak at a certain pace.
I have one more thing.
Yes, ma'am.
I think something that's very helpful that I learned a long time ago is the majority of us fall into a couple different categories. Someone that is more analytical, they want all the facts, they read the brochure, they read the back office. I never do. But there are people like that. They're usually teachers or, I mean, Tony, you're a little bit like that too. We call them yellows. Green people, they're all about saving the world and how can I help the world? And they just want to help everybody and they just love everybody. And they're like the Greenpeace people. And then there's people that are red that are very money motivated and they want to hear about the money. How much can I make? They know the comp plan. They're really like I don't have retirement. This is really impressing me. And it's all about, they want to hear about how much someone made or stuff like that. And there's other people that are blue, and they're the fun people. They want to have fun, and they want to know, are we in a fun group? Is this fun? If it's not fun, I don't want to do it. And sometimes people are a combination of maybe a blue red or a green yellow. And so that's why asking questions and more questions and trying to get the feel of them. Well, what excites you the most? They'll tell you, oh, I think this would help so many people. Then you kind of know, oh, let's talk more about helping people. Seems like common sense, but I think some of us get caught up in our own fun, not realizing like this person can care less about fun. They're here to help people. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And a lot of us will hear that same, thank you, Wendy. That is the 4 quadrants, whether it's the 4 social styles, the 4 colors, yes, there's the different categories. I know Diane studies this Diane Chasik is very well studied on that as well. So thank you, Wendy. Absolutely. Tracy has her hand up. Pat.
Well, I had it up, but I don't see it up anymore. So I was just going to shut up. But on that note, I know all of our leaders are great for 3 ways, but I find myself trying to analyze a lot of times the person I want to put with this person. Like I have a doctor friend who's from New York, and he always tells me, I said, Ron, slow it down. Because I've known him since 1980. And he says, think faster. And I said, you're from New York. I'm from Texas. You've been here 40 years or better. Just, go with the flow now. So, and I'm thinking I'd love to put him with Chip, but, he's way ahead of Chip's barely saying hi, and Ron's 10 streets down the road. But you really have to kind of pick and choose who you want to use for a 3-way. Sometimes.
The wonderful thing about really good leaders on 3-ways is they can adapt pretty quickly. And I know that Chip has a very artistic style. He's very eloquent, and we all know his very colorful, artistic, almost Van Gogh style of speaking. I get it. Right? So maybe, and I would think because he's a doctor from New York, one of our best people that would be Paul Stowers. Paul Stowers could probably not only keep up the pace, he could probably out-talk him.
He's lived here since he was a resident in 1980 at the medical center here in Houston. But
Paul is incredibly intelligent. He knows the topic, and I'm sure at the intellect level, it would be a really nice match, but a good 3-way caller would do their best to match your doctor. But just an idea that way.
Yeah, well, no, I appreciate the feedback. That's interesting line of thought. And I go along with Jan as far as being, I think especially when you're new in the business, you intend to be really exuberant and gung-ho. And then you find out, oh man, I just chased this person. And so we have to watch that.
Which is, again, perfect why we do really want to take a buddy and grab your buddy's hand and let your buddy, so you can blame somebody else for chasing them off. Okay?
There you go. Well done.
I'll be ruined. I'll try very hard not to lose your prospects, very much so. All right. But it was about the tone. Let's see. Are you comfortable with your own voice? Are you comfortable with modulating your own voice when you're talking to people? Everyone is at a different level of comfort level with different people. I think this is an area of self-study that each person has to do on their own, and find a good friend, find an accountability partner to tell you honestly how you come across when you're talking about your Avini business. I think that might be something that would be a good suggestion. I know a lot of you already do that. They're called the Admirals Tribe, and they bounce each other off all the time. All right, let's see. Let me see here. What else did I just make notes? I did make notes. I promise I made some notes. Oh, here's the question. What are your most common questions before we sign off? What are your most common questions that you get about Avini? Does anybody have some that they'd like to? I get this question, I don't know how to answer it. That is, okay, that's probably the most ask question, and what is the consistent answer? We know this over and over. And Wendy's signaling, yes, doesn't matter what it is. We're assisting the body, not because we're affecting that particular issue directly. We're not. Cell Defender does one thing. It's a cage that attracts heavy metal toxins, poisons, PFAS, chemicals, plastics, etc. Anything that fits inside and is positively charged, it grabs it and simply carries it out, thus leaving the body free to enable to continue to help itself, whether it's already enabled to help itself or to be enhanced by something else you're doing or taking or enjoying. So that's how we are able to say that it doesn't matter what it is, use your Cell Defender. Hope, oh, I love that question. How much does it cost? All right, this is where I go comedic depending on who I'm talking to. I love to do, it's $50 million. I love to just go ahead and joke that it is so expensive, you're not even going to believe it. And then I bring it back down. No, really, it's a dinner out. A bottle is a dinner out. Maybe 2 dinners out will take you through the month. And it's very affordable. You can't not have it, right? So I try to minimize the thought that expense is anything they should be concerned about. And quite honestly, I never get that question. I never get that question because my job is to build value before that cost question comes up. Does anybody comment on that? I know Shu probably can comment on that one too.
You know, Tony, the value is there for sure. And I look at my upline 3 ways to help through that. I kind of got a good habit of not saying too much. We've all puked from time to time, but that's usually on a rare case. But what I typically try to do is when I've got a new prospect somewhere, and it might be in a grocery line, it doesn't have to take long, and just a little bit of interest. And I immediately, without telling anybody, I have Chip on the phone, I have Marcy on the phone, I have Robin on the phone, and I'm done. That's all the smarter you have to be. And that third party credibility is absolutely everything. We all know we live by the 3-way phone call. And I've caught myself puking. We get so excited, like you said. Kelly, who you know, who has a huge medical staff under her part, I was at her office and she brought in a doctor, Alicia, and she's okay, I've got some time, so go ahead and tell me what you got. I'm telling you what, Kelly and I puked so hard on that Alicia girl, and she got up and walked out of there. We had 20 minutes. We had more than enough time. And when she walked out of there, we both looked at each other and said, oh my God, what did we just do? We didn't call Chip because she wanted all the facts and figures. So we've all done it. We've all made the mistake, but more times than not, I guess got to tell you, all you want to do is create just a smidgen of interest. And that's where you let the big wigs take over, like yourself. Trying to get the right person. You did that today for me when that gal called you today. So I did not take that 3-way phone call. And that's where you came in today.
And my comment before we even started that call was, if the conversation was going to go anything personal, I was not going to let it go that way, because we were there for her. We were there for solving her children's concerns. It had nothing to do with what was happening behind the scenes. So, and what was so beautiful was she was mature and wise enough to just simply allow the 3-way function to happen. It was one of the best calls I've ever enjoyed to have the honor to do, Ray. So I just say thank you so much for considering me to play that part, because she was intelligently interested. She asked the right questions, and she was respectful of the time limit that we had. And by the time it was done, it was like ironing silk. It was so lovely. So yeah,
And
we
she
just,
joined, and she signed up.
yes, she did sign up. And I just want to say, if you think you're bringing someone to the table that has a unique personal situation, guys, it's not relevant. It's not relevant. And we want to stay focused. And I just felt like she wanted to stay focused because it was about her future and her children's health and her mental health. And I'm so glad that it worked out. I'm so glad.
Yeah. I call Robin quite often. Robin, I've got this person. Who do you think? I do it all the time. She's such an expert at guiding me to, well, maybe you better do Chip that one, or I'll take that one, or I rely on my upline to guide me and not get myself into trouble and say too much and the wrong things and stuff. And I just get to sit there and listen to all the answers and to go get them back. And it's just, yeah. We had such fun the other night, Saturday night. Kelly wanted to get everybody together because she could only stay one day at the summit. And she wanted everybody to say what their takeaway was. So we had a whole table of medical people. And Kelly started at the one end and just went right around the table. There was 2, 4, 6, 8 of us, I think, there. And you know what the number 100% 2 things they said? It was the heart and the love and the family. It was not about the products. It was not about the testimonies. It wasn't anything but the heart and the love and the family that came out of that, with 8 medical people sitting there. Some of them never been before. And it was so proud. And I was so pleased. And it wasn't my put together. I didn't put that together. Kelly did. But Kelly didn't get to make it. So she was really hungry and stuff. So I just want to let you know where the heart came from, as you well know. And we're so excited. Thanks for this call tonight. And I just love you to death.
Love you back, Shu. So any quick comment before we sign off? I want to thank all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here tonight. We want to make this again. I've said it before. This is your call. It's for you.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you. Thank you,
My
Tony.
pleasure.
Are you doing this every Monday then, Tony, at the same time?
So I'm gonna make it a little free floating if you don't mind. I
no.
have either Monday or Tuesday. My regular Thursday, Paul loves Thursday nights, and I don't want to compete with Paul. I'd rather everybody enjoy Paul Stowers on Thursday nights. I love just getting everything out of the way on Monday. We'll do the Monday testimony calls in the morning. We'll do this at night, and then I'm going to bed. Okay.
Don't bother me.
So anyway.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.